Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Whale FM Project Showcases. Today we're here with Juan Hernandez from
Hey,
Curio. Is that correct?
it's correct. Yes, Curio.
Curio is a new NFT marketplace, sort of, but they've got their twist, and we invited Juan to come tell us here in the whale community, and now watching us on Twitch, and Twitter, a little bit about what they got going on. Juan, first though, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I we spoke briefly before about your background, and incredible, and just kind of what led up to this point, and then
Yeah,
we'll jump in.
great. Happy to happy to be here. Excited. So my background. Computer science degree from Northwestern. Did your typical software consulting for about 10 some years, working at a couple of Fortune 500 companies. Decided around 2010 that the corporate world was not for me. So I just jumped into the startup world and haven't looked back since. So, over the last 10 some years, I've built a couple different platforms, primarily in the fintech financial exchange space. I've built exchanges focused on virtual assets, private securities, foreign currencies, and most recently with blockchain-based securities. So I was the founder and CEO at Open Finance, and we were a security token trading platform. So we were the first US regulated security token trading platform. We had a full-blown broker-dealer, ATS, an alternative trading system. We were regulated by the SEC and FINRA, and then we were the first in the US to bring security token trading to a broader audience. So that's a company I led for around 6 years. Last year, that company was acquired by INX Limited, another big player in the security token space. And they are, I believe, currently in the process of going public. So certainly, they're still going strong, and we're excited for them. But now focused exclusively on Curio, focused on, it's an NFT platform focused on working with mainstream brands and delivering product to their mainstream fans.
Incredible how all those things led you to here, right?
Yeah.
It's the future of France, as they say.
Yeah. It's interesting that there's a lot of similarities in between what we were doing at Open Finance and what we're doing here at Curio. Certainly there's the element, obviously blockchain, building on top of blockchain, tokenizing companies' assets, and allowing them to connect, with their audience, with their fan base, with their customers in ways that just weren't possible before. But obviously very different, right? That was dealing in, private securities, and here at Curio, we're working a lot, with major brands in media and entertainment, helping them connect with their fans, engage their fans more, and trying to create, unique digital experiences for their fans and really just for, a worldwide audience.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about this your main IP right now, American Gods, how that came about, who approached what, and also what a little bit about your marketplace and how that's gonna benefit them, and how other IPs can kind of take advantage of your project.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I dive into that, I do want to also kind of talk a little bit about our team. So specifically, my two partners, Ricken Montree and Ben Arnon, who founders of the company, who have just really deep, extensive experience in the media and entertainment industry. So it's actually through their network, through their relationships, that we've been able to secure so much, so much IP and so much brand in such a short time. With American Gods, certainly the team behind American Gods, a large company called Fremantle Productions, super excited to be able to tap into this new digital media, is how we position it with the brands. Tapping into this new digital medium as a way of directly connecting with their fan base. And so that's the value proposition that we bring forward, and that's something they get right away. Just leveraging technology and Web 3.0, if you will, to be able to directly connect with the fans. And so it was not a tough sale. I think certainly Fremantle prides themselves on being on the cutting edge of innovation. And so for them, just seeing the excitement, and really they got on board before before all the NFT hype, right? I think everyone now is on the NFT train. It's you know, you can't open up, you know, a browser these days without seeing 10 stories about NFTs now. But, you know, Fremantle was a pioneer in that regard and seeing the opportunity early and starting to work with us many, many months ago on the process and on crafting the narrative. Because that's a big thing for us, right? We like to talk to our brand partners about not looking at this just as like a one-off sale or a one-off event. This is an opportunity to really create a lot of recurring activity, a lot of engagement. You know, look at this as almost like a distribution channel to a certain extent. And you know, Fremantle is a brand. You know, it's a company that got that right away and saw the opportunity. You know, a lot quicker than some other companies who we now are seeing are jumping on the bandwagon. So certainly, you know, working with such a, you know, great property like American Gods, you know, created by Neil Gaiman, who is, you know, certainly a legend in his own rights. You know, I don't know how many of you out there, you know, big graphic novel fans, but, you know, Sandman is just, you know, a complete classic, and just, you know, being able to work with some of his characters and some of his creations has just been really exciting.
Awesome. And you can really tell the foresight of Fremantle, because obviously to get to this point, it's not something that you saw the hype that happened within the last week and all of a sudden, boom, you
Right.
you know. So this has been in the works, and something that they, you know, are really excited to present to the fans. And like you said, I get that feeling that it's not a one-off thing. You know, when fans buy merch still nowadays, they interact with it all the time. And NFTs, I interact with my NFTs daily, right? So,
exactly.
Right now, if you buy a shirt from another franchise or even American Gods, you know, you interact with that shirt. You see it every day. You put it on some days. So I'm excited to see what you guys have in the works for stuff like that, right? To make it relevant for the fan daily.
Yeah, and that's the future of digital media, right? It's not a static one-way street anymore, where you're simply just pushing content through a variety of different distribution channels, and you know, hoping to get, you know, the right numbers back. You know, I think what blockchain enables is that two-way interactivity that lets the fans take a more active approach into how they consume content. So it's not just about holding, right? We like to say, you know, we're starting with collectibles, because that's a very easy to understand concept. I think on both sides of the table, everyone understands a collectible, and this is the digital evolution of a collectible. But, you know, we think about the NFT as being a bit more of a passport, a passport to new experiences, you know, something that grants you access to online events, to offline events as well, once we get past this pandemic, where you can, you know, you have your NFT in your mobile wallet, and that grants you access potentially to an offline event. So there's a lot of opportunities, and I'm sure, you know, as many people know on this channel, you know, blockchain it's a building block that just it's a very basic construct that you can then just create just really new, interesting things on top of. And so that to me, that's what gets exciting. That, you know, to a certain extent, imagination is your limit. And so we think about, you know, reinventing the fan club, for example, right? You know, the American Gods NFT holders are part of an exclusive fan club, and how do you reward those fan members, you know, with on access to online events, offline events, potentially, you know, sneak peeks at the upcoming season 4, meet and greets, you know, a Zoom meet and greet potentially with the actors or the writers or Neil himself. You know, these are opportunities that we see that can really be enabled by the technology. And what it'll do is it'll allow, you know, hardcore, passionate fans to be able to show their fandom in a way that just wasn't possible before. We like to call that proof of fandom, which is a nice little play on you know, proof of work. But, you know, that's something we're working on. You know, having the NFT be your proof of fandom, so that, you know, you can gain access to all these exclusive items. And then additionally, you know, we haven't talked too much about the flexing aspect, right? And that's more in the collector's mindset, but people love to show off their collections, whether it's a baseball card collection, a comic book collection, a buy a stamp collection, right? People love having
Sneakers
their
is
friends
huge,
and
and
sneakers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's the real flex right there.
yeah. Watches, right? I mean, there's all sorts of stuff people love collecting and flexing, and so for us, we also look at, how can you allow people to flex their NFTs, right? That's a big criticism of the space right now. What do you do with the NFT? Once you have it in your wallet, what do you do, right? There's not much you can do with it just yet, unless it's one of those game tokens like with Gods Unchained, or one of those other platforms. And so for us, we look at a lot of, how do we give people tools to let them flex their NFTs with? And to that end, we've created gallery tools. We're creating other social sharing mechanisms so that you can take your NFT with you. You can take this digital collectible item. It doesn't just have to live, on the blockchain or on one particular website. It can be on your phone. It can be something you flex on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you live, wherever you hang out with your friends. And so we trying to push the envelope in that regard as well, because we want people to have something really tangible that they can wrap their hands around and take it with them to wherever they hang out. And so you'll see that we do a lot with 3D models, different display cases, trophy case mechanisms. So certainly we're looking to push the envelope on that front as well.
I can see. I'm excited to see, once you can bake in some superpowers into an NFT and pass it on to the fan. No, but things like fan clubs are really interesting, right? Like if you have a certain NFT of your favorite character, maybe you can get access to that forum or that chat group specifically, and then the future of that stuff is just being hit on the head. I know that you had a bit of a presentation for us. If whenever you're ready, we can dive into that, and I can take some questions from the audience and kind of pose them to you as you go along. So if you're watching, you can hit us up with questions, even on Periscope. I'll see the message here, and on Discord, just tag me with something that you want to know about Curio.
Great, yeah. So actually, I'll first just start by walking through the current website. It's out there today at oncurio.com. And so, definitely want to showcase, a little bit of our current collection. So just, we worked closely with the American Gods folks and the executives of Fremantle on getting really rich, vibrant images out there. And so you'll see that in the collection. So currently we have 7 of the main show characters from season 3 in the collection. Additionally, we have a mystery item that if you collect all 7 of the characters, you'll gain access to this mystery item. So we're starting to roll out challenges like that, and just again finding unique ways to really engage our fan base and get people excited about the collection aspect, right? Because you then want to collect these 7 characters in order to gain access to this unique item that we will not be selling it on the website. You can only unlock it by accessing these characters. We're rolling out a couple of additional challenges as well. So for example, today there are 3 different rarity types. The main character, Shadow Moon, is a legendary character. The next 3 characters, Laura Moon, Mr. Wednesday, and Technical Boy, are epic rarity. And lastly, Salim, Cordelia, and Bilquis are of rare classification. And so right now we have a challenge going with these 3 rare characters that if you collect the 3 again there, you gain access to a bonus item. And so we think that's the first step that we're taking into creating a bit more of an interactive, engaging environment. We are also rolling out a couple of additional challenges in the coming week or so to really again, try to add gamification elements and make this a bit more interactive than just a simple collection process. You'll note here that we do have a drop coming actually in about 4.5 hours. So the next character we'll be dropping this evening is the character Cordelia. And so I'll click on that and show you guys a little bit of kind of what I mean. And hopefully this comes across well on the live stream. But if not, obviously feel free to visit the website. But you'll see here that we do.
It lost a little bit of the frame rate, but it looks great. Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely check out the website. Obviously, you'll see here that actually I'll go full screen here. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear my audio as well, but so these are video elements. They have audio. We do a lot with 3D. you'll see our display case has, on-brand skinning. We also have a nice little surprise element in the back. So there's definitely, I'll reload the page quickly. So we definitely try to push the needle in terms of thinking beyond just a static NFT that might just, be an image or a video that you can't do much with. For us, it's about being able to tangibly be able to reach out to the screen and almost touch the NFT. And so for us, that's a lot of 3D elements. That's a lot with, you can rotate, you can zoom in, zoom out. And all of that is also in anticipation of our upcoming AR, VR plates. Because for us, every item that we roll out, we want it to be able to live in a world where, be it a Decentraland, a Sandbox, or one of those types of platforms, or via different AR, VR platforms that are coming out. So we want our elements our items to be able to live within those worlds as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Being compatible with everything, even if it's not ready yet, is a good idea, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that's the current collection. I'll pause here for questions, and then I can jump into, we wanted to take this opportunity to showcase some upcoming functionality. So specifically, we wanted to showcase a little bit of our upcoming exchange. So secondary market, a marketplace, whatever you might call it. We're calling it an exchange. We'll be rolling that out in the next week or so. We'd love to showcase that, as well as offer a sneak peek at our upcoming Concrete Park collection.
Okay, awesome. If you know offhand who the artist is for, is it the same artist for like all the works, or is a specific one, or different people? Are they anyone that we might know from the NFT space?
So for Concrete Park, so the two creators behind that, Tony and Erica, are certainly what we're excited about working with them is that they created this new, this graphic novel that caters specifically to a different audience. So one of the items I have here, I'll pull up my other screen. I'll just jump right to it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll just jump right to it. We'll go out of order. It's fine. We'll do it live. Let me see if I can get to it. So one of the things that we really like, hear a little bit of the origin story of Concrete Park is, the story goes that they were pitching a sci-fi film to a studio president, and the emphasis was on people of color in the future. And the feedback they got from the studio head was basically, well, people, POCs don't like science fiction, so save yourselves the time of doing this. And then, for them, you'll see here on the screen a little bit about, their background and kind of, their level of involvement working in the media and entertainment. They were kind of blown away by that response. And so, they went about and basically made a graphic novel with, representation from from their own community and targeting people who they wanted to see in the graphic novel. So, we're super excited for that. We think there's been a lot of emphasis on Black crypto art right now. And we think, the Concrete Park story, the narrative, the creators behind it are really going to get the crypto community excited. And the art is just phenomenal, just beautiful. I'll save that for a little bit later, some of the sneak peeks we have there. But yeah, we're super excited for these guys. We've been working with them also for some time. They were very early on the NFT train as well. They saw the value. Tony's been a pioneer in the digital space for some time, way before blockchain and everything else. And so right away he saw the opportunity to, again, connect directly with the fan base and leverage this new medium as a new storytelling tool.
Awesome. Yes. People of color on Twitter, are definitely trying to get more visibility. They should be getting more visibility, and your platform putting that forward is a really beautiful thing to see. And the art is amazing. I'm sure the story is also equally as good. Can't wait to see that. Remember, guys in the audience, you can ask your questions now. As Juan is doing his presentation, I'll try to read them out loud. But yeah, Juan, definitely. You could move on to slide number two or three.
we're out of order now. Yep.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, so what I do want to show, so I mentioned our upcoming exchange. This has been something that obviously has been heavily requested on our own Discord and our own user base. Right now, all of our NFTs are obviously ERC 721 compatible. You can pull them off the platform. You can go to OpenSea. You can go to Rarible. You can go to Bitski. You can go to, whatever other platform shows up tomorrow. You can take them to Niftify. You can take them to Niftex. They're fully compatible across the board. But we have a huge, we have a large percent of users on our platform who are not, crypto pros, and that's something we pride ourselves in, because when we started this, we given that we're targeting mainstream brands and their mainstream fans, we knew we had to create a platform that was friendly to non-crypto people. So that means credit card payments, right? Allowing people to purchase NFTs with a credit card. Not hitting them with MetaMask right, in the face right when they first show up to the platform, kind of easing them into that process. And so we have a large percentage of users on our platform who this is their first NFT. This is the first time they've ever, had to figure out how to use MetaMask, and we have to explain gas to them, and obviously they're shocked that they have to pay, $60, $100 to move their token somewhere. And so, they all want to jump into that market and be able to go to OpenSea and be able to transact and buy and sell with other collectors. And so that ability to have an exchange, a secondary market on our own platform, so that our users can trade amongst themselves in a frictionless format without having to kind of incur a lot of gas costs, is obviously very attractive. So it's something that we've had on our roadmap, obviously, for a while. But given the feedback we got from the market and from our users, we moved our exchange capabilities up the ladder, and been working on them, tirelessly. For myself, I've built a variety, as I mentioned, a variety of financial exchanges in the past, and so a lot of the mechanisms are similar here, but obviously different, right? Because there's a difference between trading something that's fungible versus something that's non-fungible, like an NFT. So we've tried to combine those different elements.
I've seen you found like a good balance between onboarding new users and not scaring them off with jargon, but also keeping it true to what the community that's been built already. There's certain things that are important to them, like
absolutely, yeah,
like taking the time and making sure that it's not a wall garden. You can't move your things to where you want them, and I've seen you've taken great care in that.
Yeah. And I guess I didn't touch on that at the top of this stream, but obviously we're building on Ethereum 100%. We believe that Ethereum is not just believe, we know it's the largest chain, and that's where the largest community of developers are. And so we believe that this is a chain that's going to be around in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And so we want our objects to be timeless. We want you to pass your NFT down to your children, right? Put them in your will, right? I gift my Shadow Moon, one of 100, to my grandchildren. So for us, the NFTs have to live on a chain that we believe will be here, for infinity, if you will. And so for us, that's Ethereum. And so we set about to build on Ethereum. We are working with the team at Matic, now called Polygon, on leveraging their platform, their chain as as an L2 provider, and enabling a little bit more of a offloading some of the gas costs for certain actions. But at the end of the day, it has to work on Ethereum. Otherwise, we feel that we're not getting that full level of interoperability that we want. One of our advisors was talking to us that until these things get to the point where you can almost just walk down the street and give it to a friend or trade it with a friend, amongst yourselves, and it's not going to hit mainstream. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. And for us, that means being on Ethereum, because we think Ethereum is that that main street where everyone will transact, and that ability to just kind of seamlessly be able to give it to a friend or go to another platform and do something with it there. We think you need to have that type of capability.
Excellent. I'm sure a lot of people in the audience are excited about that, and think those things are fundamental to the NFT marketplace, or they should be anyway.
Yeah. So I'll step through some of these. This is all test beta, by the way. I should say that this is in our test environment, using some of our NFTs. And obviously there's lower quantities in our test environment than there are in production. So you'll see these are, one of 15s, as opposed to, the one of 100s or one of 250s like we have on mainnet. So, certainly, the intent is effectively, users can list their NFTs at whatever price they want. Kind of showing, again, here we focus a lot on the big visual aspect and really letting people get engrossed in the artwork. And then let me jump ahead a little bit. So here's an example of kind of a screen. This is one that this test user named Tester1 owns themselves. You'll see next to the export button that they have, where they can immediately take it off the platform within seconds of purchasing it. They can immediately take it off and move it to their own wallet, or take it to OpenSea or Rarible or any of our other partners. But next to that, now they have a new button called Post for Sale. Very straightforward. I'm sure a lot of you have seen screens like this where you can effectively post your sale price. And then on the flip side, for the buyer, here's another one. Cordelia, actually, the character we're doing a drop for this evening. You'll see here, what's interesting here is that we also allow you to pay in both fiat with a credit card, as well as crypto. Specifically on this screen, you can see that there's an option to pay with your stablecoin balance, $285. That's not enough, obviously, but for us, again, going back to your comment of trying to cater to the mainstream users while also, enabling that traditional pure crypto experience that many in the community want to see. And so that for us is letting you pay in credit card or ACH if you want to ACH money into your account, or letting you pay with Ethereum or stablecoin, and not just letting you pay with those. My slides are a little out of order, but also allowing you to withdraw in that currency that you choose. So if you want to withdraw as a stablecoin, or if you want to withdraw to your bank account, we enable both stablecoins, Ethereum, other crypto, and direct ACH disbursements back to your US bank account. It is currently limited to the US for the bank account functionality, but that's something we're working on extending as we go on.
Awesome. It's like options on options.
Yeah, we don't have too many options. I'll be the first to admit we got to clean up this page a little bit, but we let people pay with their USDC balance, a credit card. They can deposit additional, any Ethereum coin, or use their bank account. So definitely a lot of options.
Yeah, no, but I wouldn't see it as a bad thing, but or it's only three. It's only three. It's fine.
Yeah, four technically, I think, right?
Okay, yeah. So bank account.
Yeah.
Cool, but it removes a lot of the friction to the user of thinking like, oh, if I remove it to my bank, but I really want ETH, I have to move to the bank and then buy ETH. It's a step. So options are good in this case, I believe.
Yeah, and that's important for us, right? Like when you think about someone that this is the first time they're coming to the platform, Shadow Moon's their favorite character. They missed out on the primary sale, so now they see it on the secondary market. And so, for example, this Shadow Moon here in the corner is a bargain. It's $210. That's a bargain compared to the other Shadow Moons in this example. So when you go to make a purchase, you don't want to see that. Oh, okay, first you have to set up your MetaMask. Then you got to go get some gas because it's going to cost you gas, and then you need to get a stablecoin or more Ethereum. So for us, that's just a lot of friction. The person just wants Shadow Moon number 7 of 15. They've got their credit card sitting next to them, and we want to make it as easy as possible for them to transact. On the flip side too, a crypto collector who has a lot of stablecoin supply, perhaps they're overseas, for example, where processing payments in the US is can be a lot of hurdles there. So in that scenario, they may want to pay with a stablecoin. So we try to enable all of those options in order to really make the process very seamless for our customers.
Awesome. And I am looking for a shadow moon now, and there is there is none. There
No,
is
no,
none.
they're all
Oh
sold out.
man.
Yeah, so all of the first five characters that we've dropped have all sold out. So at this point, they're only available on OpenSea and Rarible. But soon, next week is what we're targeting. We're doing final testing this week, but soon they'll be available on our platform, on our secondary market, on the Curio exchange, where then you can transact with other Curio users to collect your full set of 7 to get the bonus item, or collect all of the rare characters to get that bonus item. So we want to make it very interactive and easy for our users to be able to hit their challenge goals and collect the characters that they want.
Very cool. And it seems like we have some very strong-handed fans, because no one like there's not very many for sale in the secondary market. Yeah, yeah.
Well, great. I'll pause there for some questions if there are any.
Yes, we have a good one from Lange. He says, you are very focused on the visual NFTs. Will you be expanding to interactive NFTs, like games or that react to like some clicking game or something like that?
Yep. Yeah. So yes, the short answer is yes. We with our current collection and with some of the upcoming items we have coming forward, we do focus, again, more so just on more than just a 2D item, whether it's an image or a video. We try to add a lot of the 3D element, audio, video, things. One of the prototypes we're working on right now is really exciting. It's a full 3D object, GLTF. For those who are concerned about open standards, we use open standards even in the 3D aspect. But it has clickable elements. So it's something you can more or less leaf through and kind of look at the content dynamically in your browser. You don't need to download a new desktop app. You don't need to download a special mobile app. For us, it has to work just in your browser. And so we are looking at a lot more interactive elements there. Some gaming components as well, elements that will live in this little mini environment, but also can then plug into other environments. So again, be it Decentraland, Sandbox, CryptoVoxels, or any of those other worlds that are popping up that allow for these interactive 3D elements to live inside of them and interact with other elements.
Cool. I can't wait to see something like this on Decentraland. Just like in your plot, just like there, maybe floating around. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
One other question. You're accepting fiat, so how are you working with gas fluctuations and minting and transferring costs? Is that something you have an oracle for, or?
Yep. So on the minting side, we so our smart contracts, they are ERC based off ERC 721 standards, but we do use a lazy minting process that enables us to offset some of those upfront gas costs. It's an approach that we actually we'll tip our hat to the devs at Gods Unchained. So they obviously had a huge influx a year or two ago. Had to mint a crate, a million packs. I believe that some of the numbers I read that they just had to mint an insane amount of packs. And so for them at the time, this gas costs were obviously rising, and then just wasn't feasible to do it all in that time frame. And so they pioneered the concept of lazy minting. And so we've studied that model. We've looked at other approaches in regard to being able to offset gas costs, and we've developed our own lazy minting process that enables these NFTs when they're first created to not incur such a high gas cost. And then when they're first transferred to wherever you want them to be, at that point, then some of the more standard process kicks in. So we've reduced a lot of the friction up front, but we understand that there's still a bit of friction on transfers just with standard gas costs.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember that Gods Unchained fiat. Not so much of a fiasco, but like it was literally they clogged the network for that first one. It was like millions of cars. Everyone was like, "When is this going to be over?"
Yeah, and I have tons of Gods Unchained cards. I love that game. I haven't had as much time to play it as I used to, but and the game is great. It's for me that was a big eye opener in terms of what owning a digital asset really means, right? Because we've all played a couple of different video games. Before that I was playing Injustice, Gods Among Us a lot. I love that game. But I would always be hesitant to buy stuff in game, right? Because you don't own it. You're basically renting it from the game developer. And so with Gods Unchained, that was the first time I was just like, take my card. Yeah, here's my one. Take my cash.
If you want to get back into it, we have our own team led by GGN. It's called Team Mythic.
I love GGN. Yeah, I love watching his streams.
If you you put together a little Curio team, and we'll go at it.
GGN and I have compared notes on I built a really fun Neferu deck that he was started playing with, and he gave me some great feedback on it. It was a blast watching him play my deck on his live stream. I was like, that's my deck. So cool. Yeah, I love that community, and I think everyone there is so passionate and excited for what it means to truly own your digital assets, right? These aren't just things that the game developer can take away, or these are things that you truly own. Just like when you buy something in the physical world, it's something you can do what you want with it. You can put it on your mantle, you can put it on your bookshelf, you can trade it with a friend, you can leave it in a box in your parents' basement for 10 years and forget about it. It's yours to do whatever you want with, and I think people are getting really excited by that concept.
Cool. And we have one more technical question from Lange, and then you can go on over to the slide. What engine are you using for the interactive parts? Babylon, Unity, Playon, which one?
WebGL. So in that regard, we're just scratching the surface. I think Lon, was it Lon?
Launch.
Launch. Yeah, I mean, you've touched on a couple of different frameworks we're exploring as well. Right now, we're just using good old WebGL, and it's something that's serving us really well. But we know that as we want to continue, pushing the envelope within that arena, within making these things a lot more interactive. The word I like to use, like a, that ability to touch something on your screen, right? You've got that 3D element that you can spin around, you can zoom in, zoom out. When you click on it, it does stuff, and it all just, it works across different browsers and different devices. That to us is kind of where we see the industry going, certainly where we're going to push it. And we, certainly others will also follow. Awesome.
Cool. All right. Let's see. What else you got for us?
All right. I got a couple more. So yeah, I wanted to give, a little bit of sneak peek into Concrete Park. They're the next collection we're rolling out. Again, I touched on Tony and Erica, super excited to be working with them on this project. This was a graphic novel that was published on Dark Horse Comics. They've got a couple of new developments coming up, which is kind of, leading into the digital collectible element as well, and kind of, using the digital collectible campaign along with some of their upcoming developments to really, take the graphic novel to that next level. So here, I just wanted to share a couple of screens here on kind of what we're looking at. So this one, this is some of the artwork that's coming back from the team there at Concrete Park, and just the art here is kind of really just so stunning. So we're doing a lot with the characters. We're crafting a narrative around the characters, around some of the cover art in the graphic novel itself, and which we think, again, we think that's art is such a big play in the crypto world right now, the crypto art itself, and we think graphic novel art is just stunning, and really we feel that we can elevate it to that next level. So the characters in Concrete Park are just really visually, just really stunning, and just something that we think is going to excite a lot of people, because it's characters that you haven't always seen in like the graphic novel space, and aren't always well represented. And so we think the cast of characters in the Concrete Park world, I think are a good representation for a more diverse audience, and we think that's going to get people very, very excited. Beyond just some of this, polished, finished art as well, we're doing a lot with sketches from the artists of the graphic novel, because we think, again, just that BTS stuff, right? Behind the scenes work, just kind of seeing how these things are developed, what the early iterations look like. These will be limited edition items that we think people will get excited by, just seeing how the artists work and the creation process around all of that. And I touched on sort of the origin story, if you will, already. But again, we're really trying to capture a lot of the spirit behind Concrete Park and what makes it unique and special, and really sharing that story, with a broader audience, right? Because that's the powerful thing as well as about NFTs, is that it's not limited to one geography. So Concrete Park came out in the U.S., published by Dark Horse Comics here in the United States. It hasn't really, had visibility to a global audience, and certainly NFTs have that capability because, blockchain has no borders, and so we feel that there's a broader audience that will be seeing Concrete Park for the first time, and that's super exciting for us to be able to collaborate with a brand like them and to be able to bring new users, new fans, and just new excitement to their universe.
So good. Yeah, that the art is a big part of the community is up to this point, and it's interesting. I feel like you guys are very aligned with the whale way of doing things and our community, and what we value. And I think you guys are going to put out a great product. Not just with the American Gods IP or even Concrete Park, but just putting out great NFTs.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah,
Yeah,
no matter what those are.
It's about the narrative, right? I think that's it at the end of the day. If it's not engaging content, I don't care what the medium is, right? It could be JPEGs, it could be video, it could be NFTs, it can be a physical, graphic novel, it could be a movie or even a song. And, it really comes back to the narrative, right? That's why people get engrossed, get involved, become fans, become devout evangelists of anything, right? They develop a fandom that they grow a passion, and this becomes one of their primary interests. And so those are the types of people that we're trying to build product for. Those that fall in love with a character, fall in love with art or a concept or a story, and want to tell the world about that story, about that character, about that feeling they got when they first consumed that content. And so we're building tools that allow people to share that story with their friends, with their family, with whoever might listen, and really, allow our partners to empower their fans to be able to tell the story. So in this case, the Concrete Park story, the American God story, we want to make it so that the fans can, again, flex their fandom, right? Show their proof of fandom to the world.
I see that totally happening already, Juan, for real. If I can interrupt, we have another question from the audience. Sure. It says, what's a functionality of NFTs that you'd like to see more use of in the future?
I like the online to offline, like the online to offline bridge use case. I think is just it's just scratching the surface of it. And yeah, right now we're all locked up, in our homes instead of outside. So certainly it's all online, all digital right now. But once we get back to a semblance of normalcy, we think that online to offline bridge is going to be very powerful. So imagine again, I'll use like a concert, like a live concert experience where the NFT serves as your backstage pass. That's something you have it on your phone. It's on your your wallet, be it a Coinbase wallet, a MetaMask wallet, or whatever. And someone can easily verify that you own that NFT and you have access to this exclusive backstage event to meet your favorite band, to meet your favorite singer or whatnot. So that's a use case we think we've all just barely scratched the surface. And just like the internet, when people first started creating websites for their companies, I think people will look back at this time and say, oh, I remember a time when we didn't have that online to offline connectivity bridge that is so commonplace today. I think we'll all look back at this time almost like we look back at the dot-com bubble days.
Yeah, those just being a part of this and kind of, you hear it every day that, oh, we're still so early, but it's
Yeah.
most people are not saying it about the investments. It's just about, where we're at and what it has the potential to be still. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're very early. We still haven't
Yeah.
figured out any half of the use cases that could
Yeah.
appear. Even next week, it feels like.
it,
Right?
it feels like a week is like a year. But you know what? That's what's exciting about being in the space right now. Like for me, I mean, if you can't tell by my excitement, like I love building new stuff. I love leveraging new technologies to like tackle unique use cases, and just I love having fun with it too. And so like this NFT space is just a perfect intersection of just technology and like interesting use cases and just like a lot of fun, right? Like American Gods, Concrete Park. Some of our upcoming partners are it's just really fun to be able to you know collaborate along such artists and creators. I was telling one of the guys just earlier today, we, hopefully soon something we can announce. One of a potential partner, it's like, is this real life? Are we actually going to get to work with this, artist that I've admired for 20 plus years, and like we're going to get to collaborate with them on an NFT? Like it's just really exciting right now. It's a fun space.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's just the level of collaboration is through the roof.
Yeah.
And it's not happening. Nobody's forcing anyone to. People are actually just reaching out to one another and just making it
Yeah.
happen organically.
Yeah.
You could talk
Absolutely.
about the funds and stuff later, but it like off the bat, it's like, dude, I have this idea. Like, oh man, let's do it, and it just goes from there, and then you figure it out. But
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
can't wait. I can't wait to see the type of brands and people that you bring on to Curio. Speaking of people, like, are you eventually going to open it up and have artists come direct to you, or you don't have that kind of marketplace in mind?
No, we do. We do. There's been a lot of interest on, speaking of collaborations, right? About around working with, artists who are interested in collaborations with some of our brand partners, and that's just a win-win across the board, right? You get to help the artists out, get them exposure. The brands get to allow for this sort of remix culture of their IP and their content, and it's something that I think again just delights fans and like gets them excited to see these like fun funky things. So that's something we're looking at. There's obviously a little bit more coordination there because now you got to coordinate a bunch of different parties. But that's definitely something on the roadmap, and we think that sort of stuff will be here a lot sooner rather than later.
Awesome. All right. Looking forward to seeing a lot of new faces and then people coming into the space through Curio. We're running up on the hour. I
Yep.
might open up for questions again, but if you have more slides or kind of want to leave us with something that we shouldn't forget, like the drop that's probably now into our
Yeah, I used up all my slides. Yeah, we've got, there's a big countdown timer on our website. We've got our next drop in 4 hours, 8 minutes, and 50 seconds. That's the Cordelia character. I'll click on her again. So you guys can kind of see the product a bit more. We do have a challenge ongoing right now. You see her rarity type is rare. If you collect all 3 of the rare characters, there is a bonus item. So she'll be dropping later today. And then additionally, we do have this mystery character that we will be revealing soon that I think people are going to love. This was a fun collaboration between Curio and American Gods as well. We created a unique, never before seen content that I think people are going to love, and I think it's going to be very coveted, if you will.
I imagine so. There's people in the chat that are excited about it, saying things like Cordelia is awesome, amazing. So I
Yeah.
think if the other one
Well,
sold out relatively quickly, I can imagine this one going out
yeah.
immediately as well.
Well, and that's what we love hearing too. It's a lot of American Gods fans. We're seeing just and so there's so much crossover appeal because there's a lot of American Gods fans who they read about us and some sort of article we had out, some sort of press, they're like, they love everything American Gods, and so they want, to be involved with this. And obviously now NFTs, you're hearing so much more about NFTs everywhere. So there's been a lot of crossover appeal from these non crypto users who have been wanting to check out NFTs, especially now, and this is a great way to do it, right? We make it super easy to onboard them. There's very little friction. You can pay with a credit card, and they get to collect American Gods content. Before they were collecting maybe posters of American Gods, or they made a fun figurine, a Funko Pop figurine of American Gods characters. So there's a lot of there were a lot of ways to express your fandom before, and this becomes a new way to express your fandom, to kind of be able to show off to your friends and on social media that, hey, like, I've got the Shadow Moon, that there's only 100 of these Shadow Moons ever made, and I own one of those 100, and look how cool it is. I can share it everywhere. This is all the stuff that it can do. It just got me exclusive access to an online event with one of the actors, maybe with Ricky himself, the actor behind it, so that's how we, as we put together the product, our product team is focused on how, what's going to blow the socks off of like an American Gods fan, what's going to blow the socks off, someone who's a Neil Gaiman fan, who even some of the fans of the book from which the show is based off of, so we try to stay true to the fans, to the core audience, and deliver something that we think will really, really delight them.
Awesome. And it's a little bit of vice versa also, because I know of American Gods and I've caught maybe 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm into NFTs, you're putting out an excellent quality NFT. The rarity's there, the price point is great, and I know that there's a rabid fandom. It makes me want to, now I'm like, I need to go watch some American Gods and know, know what's up.
There's still time, the season 3 finale is March 21st, so you have plenty of time to binge it. It shows on Stars in the US. Overseas, it shows on Amazon Prime. So it's plenty of time to binge watch, season 1, 2, and 3, and be ready, for the March 21st season finale. So plenty of time.
Dope. I'm gonna go ahead and in the Whale Discord, I'm going to drop the link to the Curio Discord, just so everyone from our community can kind of keep up to date with what's going on. If they have specific questions, I'm sure they can reach you or someone else on your great team that'll hook them up with the info they need. And go in there and try to secure me one of these sold out cards that I so need.
Yeah. Hey, if you don't get it on the primary drop, we'll have the exchange up and running next week, and then you can pick one up then, so you can get the bonus item.
But I'm scared of the numbers. Hopefully they're not too crazy.
There's a lot of rabid fans out there who missed out on especially Shadow Moon. It was only 1 of 100, right? So only 100 people were able to get that. So it's pretty highly coveted right now.
I bet. All right, Juan. Let me see. I don't see any other questions from people here. But if you're just coming into the interview, the Cryptolarian is going to make sure to put it on our YouTube relatively quickly, and you can catch it there. And then again, follow Curio on Twitter. I put the Twitter up there, and just stay up to date. And then go over there and request your favorite IP to come to Curio.
Yeah,
they're doing great work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. We would definitely love to have you back once you get the exchange going. I know that's a big deal. Smooth that out, and whenever you have another amazing drop come through, let the community know who it is and what are their chances and all that good stuff. And we'd love to have you back and talk about that.
Yeah, and maybe we'll put together our Gods Unchained team and we'll challenge GG into a duel.
American Gods versus the Gods Unchained.
Yeah. There's a big crossover opportunity there. I can tell.
Yep. I'm sure Eugene is always up for the challenge. So we'll get to work on a team mythic over here. Juan, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone in the audience for submitting these great questions and being attuned to what's going on in the space. And definitely again give Curio a check. All right, with
Awesome.
that, y'all, we'll catch you soon. Peace
All
out.
right. Thank you.